Yo, what's good, what's good? Yo, what's good, what's good? Welcome to a new episode of Bme Presents. I'm your host for the night, Tony Brown. Tonight I got a great show lined up for you. Joining me tonight on the red sofa are two of Portsmouth, Virginia's youngest city councilmen. I'm talking about Vice Mayor DeAndre Barnes and Councilman Christopher Woodard joining me here to talk about some of the issues going on in the city. Plus, I got from Wu-Tang Radio, baby, Beck G coming through with the crew from Wu Radio. Sit down on the red sofa and talk to me about some things going on. And plus, if you know anything about 757 TV, then you know about Rep Your Set Live. For the first time ever, tonight, right here on the set of Bme Presents, Rep Your Set Live, Bme Presents, we're going to sit down and chop it up. It's about to be dangerous, baby. I'm trying to tell you. Stay tuned. It's Bme Presents. All right, welcome back to Bme Presents. My first guests tonight are two of my favorite radio hosts because they just had me on this show not too long ago. From Wu-Tang Radio, I got my man Prince and the wonderful Miss Beck G. How y'all doing tonight?
Good, Tony.
And yo, tell our viewers a little bit about this Wu-Tang Radio program that you host. This program is great.
Thank you.
Not just because I was on it, because I listened to some episodes like after and before you invited me on just to see what it was about. I'm like, yo, this is a nice program.
Thank you.
But tell our viewers what the concept, how it came about.
Well, Wu-Tang Radio is exactly what it is. It is Wu-Tang's radio station. And they relocated from from New York to Norfolk. And Prince is the general manager for Wu-Tang Radio. I have the pleasure, the privilege, and the honor to serve as the PR manager. And we happen to also co-host together the Vinyl Word show with DJ Mike Love, who's out there in watching this land.
Yes. And that's the show I was on, the Vinyl Word.
The Vinyl Word show.
But it's on the Wu-Tang Network.
Absolutely.
Yes. Right. So you're the program director for the entire network.
Well, I'm the general manager.
General manager.
DJ Mike Love is actually the program director.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the GM for the network, what does it entail?
Running everything, man. The whole ship, getting shows together, working with the program director, working with the station manager, working with Beck G, the PR director, working directly with John Givens.
I'm kind of miffed a little bit, man, now that I come to think about it, because Wu-Tang was in Norfolk last night, and I ain't get a heads up from the Wu-Tang radio station.
Give me 5 minutes, because I got you. Look, we were laughing last night because we looked at each other just as we were preparing to go, because it's work. Work is fun,
right,
for being in this business. Right. Work happens to be fun, and fun is work. But we looked at each other last night as we were walking into the venue, getting ready for what we were going to do. And he said, how many times did your phone ring today? And I said, I was just going to ask you, how many times did your phone ring today? And it's amazing. Every time it still blows my mind that people, hey, Beck, what's up, beautiful, all of that. And I'm like, what's this about? Yeah, because I'm trying to go see the Woo. I'm like, goodbye, But for you though, honestly, I really expected you to be in the building. So you got to charge. What's the saying? You got to charge it to my head and not my heart.
Yeah, it ain't your fault. It ain't your fault. I was working. I peeked up and saw Wu-Tang in an hour with the Nova. And get back to work.
It was a great show, though. So salute to Raekwon the chef. He definitely cooked.
Right.
Ghost was in the building doing what Ghost does, and Jizza, and it was a really incredible show. And a big shout out to the opening act, Amir Driver, made in Norfolk.
That's my man. Amir Driver is dope.
He showed out for the
Hey,
city.
Duke, you remember Amir, right?
For sure, that's my dude.
Amir is dope. Yeah.
He showed out for the city.
Yeah.
He showed
You
out
gotta
for the
get
city.
Amir on the show, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Don't be a stranger. Just welcome. But yeah, so the Vinyl Word, how did the concept of that particular program come about?
Yeah.
Well, me and Beck G were we ran a different station priorhand. She had her own show, I had my own show, and DJ Mike Lowe was on the previous show with me. And when we came over to Wu-Tang Radio, I was just going to come in and just straight work. I wasn't going to do any radio. I kind of retired from that for being in radio for over 10 years. And people kept saying, you guys need to get back on air. And so I looked at Beck G and I looked at Mike. I was like, what are y'all thinking? And I was like, let's do it. And so I sat down, thought about a name. I was like, the vinyl word has a nice ring to it. Plus, it goes along with just music and conversation. So the vinyl word is kind of
music is so different without vinyl nowadays.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's just, if you got music on vinyl, it's like a rare thing. It's like classic. You got music, but I don't discredit anything that's going on now. But that vinyl is just like one of the souls of music.
It is, and when music was tangible, it was different. Right. It felt different. Right. There was a greater commitment from the musician. There was musicianship. I mean, even down to the instruments. People cared about the sounds that they put out. Right. And not that these and I use the word young, and I don't mean in age, I'm just talking maybe an experience and an interest. These young musicians coming up now, they wanna do the viral thing. They wanna be social media stars, and they want they want 1 million views, and they could care less about putting out another banger. Right. They could care less, but the vinyl word, just, to your point, when you touched music, I remember when I was growing up, my dad used to play records, for us. And that's what I always thought music was. I always thought it was on the record. It was the record first, like it was the record, and then it was a show, and and I just remember feeling music. I ain't gonna tell my age, but we all grew up at the same time. We about the same age, and back then, when you listen to music, even the way you listen to music was immersive. You had these giant headphones. You remember with the big thick coil that you plugged into the stereo, and if you were listening to music, you couldn't stray too far away from the stereo, and you were there, and your mama had to pluck you upside the back of your head. Did you hear me call you? So it is different. And so you remember coming into the studio, we had records. We have records up on the wall. We had a record player, and because the vinyl word is the final word.
For sure.
So how could viewers tune in and check the show out?
Well, it's very easy. We have an app. You can go and download the app. It's in the App Store. It's absolutely free.
Hey.
It's Wu-Tang Radio. She loves when I say that. It's Wu-Tang Radio. Just go ahead and hit your App Store for that. It's free for now. So if you ain't got it, when it becomes charging, I don't know. But now you can download the app. You can hear the vinyl word every Thursday from 7 to 9 right on Wu-Tang Radio. Beck G, DJ Mike Love, and myself.
Yep.
Okay, and social media, you want to give your social media?
Everything is the Vinyl Word Show. Okay. Everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everything is the Vinyl Word Show. And Wu-Tang Radio, which we just rebranded to Wu-Tang Radio. We came, and this radio station is not new. Right. It's been around for a few years, and so we just came to give it a little gas and revitalize it. So it was Wu World Radio. So you'll see that used for the next few months interchangeably. But it's Wu-Tang Radio, and if you see it pulled up as Wu World Radio, it's the same thing. It's real legit.
And you don't just play Wu-Tang songs all day long.
No. And as a matter of fact, Wu-Tang and our managing leader is Mook, John Mook Gibbons. And y'all know Mook. Shout out to Mook, right? The man behind the Clan and RZA. And their entire thought process behind this radio station is to do for artists what happened for them. And they, everybody probably watched the American Saga where the story is told that they walked into a record shop and play this. And, next thing you know, they were ordering crates and crates more albums. We want that to happen and we work in the same vein, working with these up and coming, even local, and new artists who really, we got to find these needles in a haystack. And we love to break records. We love to play new music, and so that was something that had to be done at this station.
So we got all of their information on the screen. You heard them. They love to break new music, and they love to break new artists. Hit them up at Wu-Tang Radio. The information is down below. Once again, thank you to my man Prince and Beck G.
Salute.
We'll be back after this video. All right, welcome back to Bme Presents. Yo, if you know anything about 757 music, video, television, then you gotta know about Rep Your Set Live. One of the rawest shows that ever came out of the 757. And I guess for the first time ever, they tell me this is a rare moment, but for the first time ever, I got the producer, the host, the creator of Rep Your Set Live, my man G, on the set with me. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? How you doing?
What happened to Represent, man? What's going on with Represent right now?
Represent is we in a little pause right now, because we did a couple movies,
right?
So we got to put that energy into movie projects,
right?
But we will be doing something back in television.
That's what's going on. That's what's going on. And look, I'm gonna give you a little teaser. Starting January, this show is about to be an hour long, and we're gonna be doing something together.
Whoa.
So I ain't even gonna tell you no more. We just gonna go straight to a video because he didn't want to be on here. This kind of impromptu. We just found out that it was a family affair going on in the building tonight.
Shout out to Back G and Wu-Tang Radio. She ain't shout me out when she was up here.
That's his big sister.
That's my little sister.
It's all good.
Shout out
it's
to Tony,
Represent, Bme Presents. We'll be back after this. What's good? Welcome back to Bme Presents. I'm here with my next guest, two very honorable young men serving the city of Portsmouth. They happen to be, to my knowledge, the youngest two African-American city councilmen in the history of the city of Portsmouth. Right. I'm talking about Vice Mayor DeAndre Barnes and Councilman Christopher Woodard.
All right.
They used to call him Fat Boy, and then they call him Mr. Councilman.
That's it. Look, you got to be from Portsmouth to know that.
Yeah.
So Tony, certified.
But one thing I did want to correct you on, not just African Americans, but the youngest ever.
Ever. Yeah. Okay, that's great. Now, I wanted to be corrected on that. That's why I said to my knowledge now. I know y'all was the youngest African Americans, but the youngest ever, that's a big thing too.
But he the second youngest. Yeah. I'm the youngest.
Okay. Hey, but it's great, man, to have y'all two in office doing things for the city, man. And Portsmouth at this time, at this period in our history, man, we've been through some things, and we seem like we continue to go through some things, but it seems like it's getting smoothed out a little bit. And I want to thank y'all in part for that. But what are some of the things that in the city that are number one concerns for you as councilman? We'll start with you.
Okay. Well, our kids gonna always be number one issue here in Portsmouth. But since I've been on council, the things that we've been implementing here in our city, fully funding our education system, because we want to make sure we got a strong school system here in Portsmouth, and we want to make sure we got recreation going on. It's a lot of things that we blame on the kids or the families that's here in Portsmouth, but when you not giving the kids the adequate tools so they can succeed, then pretty much they get into mischief. And I think this council, especially me, DeAndre Barnes, some other council members, Paul Battle, we've really been focusing on recreation here and making sure our kids are staying busy and they have, like I said, the tools to succeed.
I was just telling Councilman Barnes before you got on set I thought it was great that you recently gave some funding to kids to go out of town, an athletic team to go out of town and just represent Portsmouth in a manner that was suitable to the city. Councilman Barnes, you kind of like the firecracker. Excuse me, I'm sorry, Vice Mayor. I forgot.
The Vice Mayor,
Vice Mayor kind of like the firecracker on the city council, but I like it because you stand for people. You stand for the people. When you don't let anybody shut you down, you want your thoughts to be complete, and you're very articulate. You're very articulate, and you do something that's touching a whole new generation of voters that nobody else has done before. And that's live stream every time you go to a city council meeting. How'd you get the idea for that?
So I started it when I was on the school board, and one of the things I wanted to do, one of the things in my platform was to get the community involved. So by doing that, I decided to do the live, and by doing that, you have people who normally don't pay attention to meetings. Mm-hmm. So they weren't paying attention to school board meetings, but then now people started watching school board meetings. Now, with the city council, nobody knew what a city council member did, but now they're paying attention to it. So you have a lot of young people, just people that's from certain neighborhoods that didn't know what was going on. Now they're paying attention. So that was the purpose behind it.
Do you get flack from other older council members? Just like, well, you got that video camera on, boy. Like,
I think they choose their words a little careful.
Not boy, but
no, I'm talking about even when they say that, they try to be more politically correct. But
right.
I did have a council member tell me he don't think I should be doing it, and I told him, well, make me not do it.
Yeah, it's disclosure. It's a great thing. It ties you into the community. That's smart. It's very clever because it ties you into the community, and people like we count on Barnes. He gonna show us what's the behind the scenes, what's really going on. You know, they stream what y'all doing anyway. You're just doing it from a different point of view. You understand? So I think
then you have people too who don't really pay attention to that stream.
Yeah.
The people that pay attention to my stream are not the same people that's going to pay
Exactly.
attention to that.
Exactly.
And also, the other issue is that we've been kept out of the process so long. This gives us an opportunity to be in the process, and that's probably why certain people don't want it to be streamed by me, because they know more people are paying attention that don't normally pay attention.
Right. Just transparency. That's really what it is. I mean, people been asking for so long. Pretty much, you know, Vice Mayor, he created his lane of transparency for people who probably, like you say, don't pay attention to the city website, don't come to the meetings, or just aren't privy to go to certain civic league meetings or whatnot, So some of those issues that they bring to the table, we regurgitate them right back out on his live stream, on our city website, on a YouTube channel. People tell me all the time they watch the YouTube channel to see what was going on from the previous day. So
right.
It's I mean, hey, even right now we on BME Live and we giving you a little feedback of what's going on, through the city council. So we using all the avenues we
all
can.
The avenues,
all
right.
the avenues.
And then you got a connection with the community too, because every time I pop up at a community event,
yeah.
I see you there, and that's a good thing. It's like it's a connection. People can relate to you. You're not unreachable to them.
And that's the thing. You want to make sure that they can touch you. They can put a face to the names.
Right.
You just don't want people to be going to the voters booth. We're not just blind voting. People that they don't know. You want to make sure that, hey, you know what? When you vote for me, this is the reason why you're gonna vote for me, because hey, I support the kids, or I support small businesses, or I support black-owned businesses. I want you to know why you're going to the booth and you're voting for me, and that's what it's all about. And like I say, just being in the community. When people say you going to these community events, I'm from this community, number one.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to make sure that I have that, they have that same representation that any other community is privy to. So when they see me, I want you to know, hey, look, I care about what you got going on.
Right. And Vice Mayor,
He almost got him. Look, the jigger almost came out of him. We almost had to call him by his damn home name. The jigger almost came out of him.
Gun violence in our city, man. Is there a plan? What's the plan if there is?
Well, I wouldn't say that we have a plan from the city.
Right.
But you have 4 council members, myself, Councilman Battle, Councilman Woodard, Councilman Whitaker, who have put some things in place, because the truth is that you got to deal with the root issues when it comes to crime.
Mm-hmm.
When a crime happens today, when somebody gets shot today, the problem didn't start today. It started when they chose that lifestyle. So we have to prevent people from choosing that lifestyle. And what we've been able to do as far as fully funding education, putting $1.5 million in recreation for the first time in history. Also making sure that the funding formula wasn't there, which took away $1 million from our school system. And also we got to make sure we bring jobs to deal with some of the issues that they have. These are the things that's going to fix the crime.
Right.
And we're putting them in place now. You're not going to see a change tomorrow, but in the long term, you will see a change from what we're doing.
It starts with the first step.
Yeah.
It starts with the first step, and I'm proud of you, Councilman Battle, Councilman Woodard, and my former schoolmate, Councilman Whitaker, for taking the initiative to do this. Hey, man, you got an open platform here at BME Present. Anytime you need to come back and address the community on any concerns, feel free to let us know. I'd like to thank my guests for stopping through. We're going to go to a video, something to uplift your hearts and your spirits. This is Councilman Christopher Woodard and Vice Mayor DeAndre Barnes. BME Presents. We'll be back after this.
To be with all my friends and family again. Oh, I waited oh so long. Now the time is near. Christmas time is here. In the middle of the night now, baby, we'll open gifts like crazy. Kiss you under the mistletoe. We'll wake the kids up early, wrap gifts for Mom and Aunt Shirley. Sleigh bell ride in the snow. Girl, been traveling too long. Can't wait to get home to see you on Christmas. Girl, been traveling too long. Can't wait to get home. I can't wait to see you on Christmas. Oh, wow. How the kids have grown, faces I have known, all together again. Oh, I'm thankful that I'm here. Laughter and good cheer. It's Christmas time again. In the middle of the night now, baby, we'll open gifts like crazy. Kiss you under the mistletoe. We'll wake the kids up early, wrap gifts for Mom and Aunt Shirley. Sleigh bell ride in the snow. Been traveling too long. Can't wait to get home to see you on Christmas. Girl, been traveling too long. I can't wait to see you on Christmas.
All right, that was the new Christmas joint by my man Levi Little's group. And speaking of Christmas, we're back with Vice Mayor DeAndre Barnes and Councilman Woodard. You got a Christmas event coming up, right?
Yeah, so we have an annual Christmas giveaway that we do out there home, but it's for the whole community of Portsmouth. And this year I'm partnering with Councilman Chris Woodard. We're doing it on December the 18th from 10 until.
From 10 until.
Yeah, so we're taking donations. If you want to donate, you can donate through Cash App, $PC Cowboys. Or you can bring it to 4201 Portsmouth Boulevard in Portsmouth if you want to donate some toys.
Hey, I remember last year, the truck was overwhelmed. We had to get 2 trucks,
Yeah,
right?
we had 2 trucks.
We had 2 trucks. There were so many toys. So y'all find it in your hearts, again, to give to Councilman Woodard and Vice Mayor Barnes toy giveaway happening in Dale's home on December
The 18th.
December 18th. All right, this is your man Tony Brown, Bme Presents. We'll be back after this. All right, that does it for the next episode of Bme Presents. We'd like to thank you, the viewer, for tuning in. We'd like to thank our guests for stopping by. Make sure you follow all of them on their social media networks and platforms. And make sure you follow us on our social media platform as well, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Until next week, it's your man Tony Brown, Bme Presents. We out of here.